It is Nolan Jim, and it is Saturday, the 15th of April in 2023. And as of yesterday, I have been out of the hospital for a year. So I've been out of the hospital for a year and a day now. And I just wanted to do a quick live stream to talk about how life is going, what's happening, and where we go from here with where we are. So I've had some rather heavy setbacks in the last week or so, and it's frustrating, but I will get through it and we'll overcome. We're looking right now at losing our insurance coverage. I've been forced onto Medicaid, or was, because of what happened with losing my limbs. And now, because of the pandemic being over, I'm now being forced off of Medicaid because they say that we have too many assets. Won't tell me what the assets are. Won't tell me what the limit of assets are. But they're saying I have too many assets. So here we are, stuck with the very real possibility of losing the insurance coverage that I've had for over the last year now. And without this insurance coverage, hey, if you're in the watching, please chat, say hi, say who you are. Right now, I feel like I'm just talking to myself and literally one other person. So I'll start back over here and say, yesterday was a year since I got out of the hospital, and it's been an interesting year. It's been a tough year. I've made a lot of gains, and unfortunately, right now I'm looking at some setbacks that are pushing me back rather far. As I was saying earlier, before somebody came in to watch the live stream here, I have been on Medicaid for the last year, and I guess due to the pandemic being over, the Medicaid rules have changed or something. And I was supposed to recertify, and I did, and found out that they're saying that I have too many assets. So I am looking at losing my insurance company. Hey, Marianne. Um, I am looking at losing my insurance coverage here very quickly at the end of the month. And I've not gotten anything that I'm supposed to have gotten. The insurance was supposed to have paid for. That's meaning prosthetic legs, prosthetic hands, a wheelchair, a shower chair, any of the things that you're supposed to have as a disabled person with no limbs. The insurance has found a reason to say no continually, and now they're at the position of saying no forever. So I'm going to have to look for what kind of insurance I can get, and not exactly sure what it is. My only income right now is the disability income, which is about $1,350 a month. And then two of our children receive some SSI income of about $170 a month each. And somehow that's just too much money to be on Medicaid. It's mind-boggling. I will say I do not hold any grudges against people who are from other countries, but I do find it disheartening that when we went to the Medicaid office the other day, first of all, apparently it's closed permanently in Daytona Beach, but there was a couple from Ukraine who were there, and they had Medicaid and food stamps. And I don't see how people from another country who come here because of a war and have never paid taxes can qualify for getting some help when somebody who's paid taxes for 49 years can't get help. It's mind-boggling. But anyway, here we are. I am No Limb Jim for those of you guys who don't know who I am. And if you are not subscribed to the channel, please take a moment to subscribe. At 1,000 viewers, I will be able to have more than 25 people in the live stream at once, and YouTube will actually promote it to people instead of thinking that this is being used to help instigate a riot or something. So YouTube has got some protections on because of what happened during some of the rioting over the last couple of years, that if you have less than 1,000 subscribers and you try to do a live stream from your phone, they clamp you down and they say, sorry, you can only have 25 people in your live stream. So if you're not subscribed already, please do subscribe, and share the videos, like the videos and share them, and tell your friends about the channel. This is a channel where I want to be able to help people out. But let's go back to where we are. So I am now looking at having to restart the process of being able to get prosthetic legs, prosthetic hands, a wheelchair, a way to get in the shower without getting in there on my knees and sitting on my butt on the floor in the shower, which is what I have to do now. I just crawl in there, and it's not really the most fun way or easy way to take a shower, but that's what I have to do. And I got to figure out how I'm going to pay for the medicine. I just picked up my Eliquis, which is a blood thinner that I have to take because of the atrial fibrillation that was started as a result of my heart surgery going south. It looks like that medicine's going to cost me $673 a month, plus the pain medicines that I'm on, and the metropolol, which is there to help with the atrial fibrillation. So I don't know if you guys have any ideas on health insurance ideas for somebody who's disabled, who has $7 million in medical bills. I'd love to hear it, and I'd love to hear some people come up with some ideas. But anyway, I am alive. It has been a year since I was in the hospital, and I'm doing okay. The world is a much different place now than when I went into the hospital and had the surgery, that's for sure. And I'm trying to figure out my where I belong in this world. As an amputee, as somebody who's disabled, I really don't like the word differently abled. I think it's patronizing. People like to say, oh, well, call yourself differently abled. I'm not into that. Sorry. I'm disabled. It is what it is. For those of you guys who don't know, I have lost both of my feet and at least part of all 10 of my fingers. My thumb there, as you can see, the end's been chopped off. And then on my right hand, things are gone on my right hand too. It's hard to get the glove off, but I'll try. So that's my right hand. So I call myself a dodeca amputee, meaning I've had 12 things amputated. Let me see if I can show my legs here. So there's my right leg, and there's my left leg. I'm just sitting out in the front yard enjoying the Florida sunshine today. So, oops. Well, now I'm being told that I have to abide by YouTube's community guidelines. I don't know what I've done to upset them. But anyhow, guys, if you've got any questions or anything you want to ask or talk about, I will stay here as long as people want to be engaged. So if you've got anything you want to ask or say, bring it up. I am No Limb Jim. I am a multiple amputee, have been for a little bit over a year now, and would be happy to talk about my experiences and what's going on. So I guess I will just kind of show the neighborhood here. Like I said, it's a beautiful day here in Florida. That's our neighborhood. And that's the neighborhood in it's No Limb Jim's neighborhood. There we go. So, guys, please bring up something here. I'm no good at talking by myself here, and I'm very happy to answer questions or have conversations with people. But it's a two-way street. So if you are interested in anything about being an amputee or being a multiple amputee or going through navigating, trying to get access as a disabled person to, being able to park in a handicapped parking spot, I would be happy to talk about anything. It's all near and dear to me. So while we're at it, I guess I'm going to go on my handicap parking rant here if I can get my phone to work. That right there, I'll point with my thumb, that right there allows you to park in a handicap spot. And there are some rules you have to follow to be able to get one of those. They have to follow rules to get one of those handicap parking permits. And it seems like, unfortunately, there are people who get them who don't really need them. Or they have them and they use them in a way that shouldn't be used. If you have a handicap parking spot tag and you don't need the extra 5 to 8 feet that are afforded on either side to be able to get in and out of the car, get into or out of a wheelchair or a van that has an access ramp, and there is parking that is just as close or even sometimes closer to the place you are trying to get, please consider parking in the spot that's not reserved for handicap. Just because you have that blue tag doesn't mean you have to park in a handicap spot. There are lots of people who really desperately need that extra room. I need that extra room. And there are people who have vans who need even more room than I need. So I try to park in spaces that afford me the room to get out of the car and get back into the car, even if they're a long way away, because as long as there's enough room, I'll use that spot. Because I realize that there are people who need that spot more than even I do. So I just encourage you, if you have a handicap sticker, placard, or license plate, or whatever, please don't abuse it. And really, if you've got an able-bodied person with you who's in the car, and that able-bodied person is exiting the vehicle to go into a store, and you're not, don't be a douche. Don't park in the handicap spot. That placard is for you, not for you to park in the spot and give it, let your friend or family member run into a store or a restaurant or a place of business. It's not your, it is for you to park there and get out. It's not for your family member. So that is my rant on that. I did see that somebody was going to go and try to get some more people into the chat here, so I will stay for a little bit. And again, I'll just talk about, my name is James, and I call myself No Limb Jim. I became a multiple amputee started on December 8th of 2021, when I went into what was supposed to be a relatively simple mitral valve surgery that went horrifically wrong. About 45 minutes into the surgery, my wife was called on the phone. They said there were some complications. And then the next time she heard from them was several hours later. I ended up being in surgery at the first hospital for 15 hours. They needed to transfer me to Orlando, and they prepared to put me on the helicopter, and then the helicopter ended up not being able to fly. And the helicopter crew came down in a special ambulance with their advanced life support stuff on it, and they did what they call land flighted me to. They land flighted me to Orlando, so they took me in a special ambulance and got me to Orlando, and they ended up getting me stable over a period of several hours. But it was a really bad situation. I received over what I was told 100 blood transfusions. Somewhere along the line, I was given heparin. I'm allergic to heparin. I was given the wrong blood type platelets. I got A positive platelets when I'm O positive. At least that's what the medical record shows. And I ended up apparently with what's known as heparin-induced DIC, or disseminated intravascular coagulation. And from what I learned in medical school, that's something that you never want to get because you don't survive. And here I am a year and a half after that, and a year after getting out of the hospital, I am alive and well, albeit missing both legs and missing both legs and the at least some of all 10 of my fingers. Was I allergic? Did we know we were allergic to heparin before the surgery? Yes, they did know that, and at least that's what I'm told. And I guess they did it anyway because I was so bad. They gave me heparin. I wasn't awake. I don't know. I was in a coma for 2 months. I was hooked up to what's known as an ECMO machine. ECMO stands for extracorporeal membrane oxygenation. It is a heart-lung machine that will pump your blood and breathe for you. I was hooked up to that for 2 months. Most people don't make it more than a couple days, or 2 weeks at the most. It's miraculous that I survived 2 months on it. My wife was told by some of the doctors that I was the sickest person in the hospital. Then they would go on to say I'm the sickest person in the state, and definitely the sickest person in the whole Southeast. They went on to say I probably was the sickest person in the whole country. How did I survive? I don't know. God. Actually, I do know God. It was a miracle. I survived. I guess to be able to tell my story and to be able to show people that there is hope. There is a way back from this. It's tough, and I had not planned on doing a live stream this afternoon, so I couldn't tell anybody ahead of time that hey, I'm going to do a live stream. I was just sitting out here and felt like it's a good time to do one. And yeah, I should prepare better in the future and let people know ahead of time in the future that, hey, this is what I'm getting ready to do. So I will do that in the future. So I was in the hospital and in a coma for several months, and I woke up not knowing what had happened. My hands were black, and they looked like they had been burned. I had a trach. I couldn't. Yes, I went to. I am a unicorn. Yes, I did go to the North Carolina School of Science and Mathematics in their third graduating class. So anyway, I woke up from the coma. I couldn't talk. Um, the nursing staff did not tell me that my family was still alive. I thought that I must have driven myself home from the hospital and had a wreck, and the Suburban caught on fire, and I must have killed my family. Um, and I don't know if it was a day or an hour or 5 minutes before Michelle walked in, and I knew that she and the children were alive. But I'm in the class of 1985, Beverly Griffin, and Scrager 4. Glad to have a fellow unicorn here. I thought that I had killed my wife and kids in a wreck. Um, I did find out later, don't know how long, that they were alive, and I was thankful that they were alive. I was in Orlando. They were in Palm Coast, 77 miles away. It was hard for them to get to see me in the hospital, and there I was. I found out that my feet were black and dead, and I found out my fingers were black and dead. They looked like beef jerky. And I quickly found out that it was because of the vasopressor drugs that they gave me to keep me alive. And they were necessary to keep me alive, but the side effect of the vasopressors being on them for so long is your extremities die. And that's what happened to my hands and feet. So my legs were amputated while I was in the hospital in Orlando. That was on February 8th of last year. So I'm coming up on a year and 2 months now, I guess. A little bit more than a year and 2 months since the legs were amputated. And then my hands were amputated in July and August, or either June and July or July and August of last year. I'll have to go back in my records and see. The right hand was done first, and then the left hand was done a month later. They still hurt like crazy. I did not know how debilitating pain could be. But I'm getting through it, and I'm not getting hooked on drugs, which is good. But who knows? Not that I'm going to get hooked on drugs. I just don't know what life is going to be for the rest of my life. Will I continue to be in this pain that I'm in, or will it go away? I don't know. And that's one of the things that I wanted to be able to do with this channel is, as I find out, or if I bring people into other live streams and we chat, they could say, "Hey, do you have any idea on how these things are?" Marianne Thompson, do I have prosthetic legs? No, I have no prosthetics at all. I was, sorry, trying to get to where I can see the chat. There we go. I have no prosthetics at all. They were denied, and they have stayed denied. So there are none right now. The options in the future, I don't know. I was evaluated for prosthetic legs. I was found to be eligible for a K4 foot, which means the highest level of mobility. They think that I would be able to get back into doing things like rock climbing or mountain climbing or flying an airplane or whatever. They think that I could benefit greatly from them. And let me go back. I did have a leg was approved. They approved my right leg, but not my left. And the reason they gave for my left leg is because I had a wound on my left leg, which I do, but the doctor wanted me to have the prosthetic so that it would have compression and help the wound heal. and the insurance company, which was Sunshine Health Medicaid, um, took it and said, nope, can't have it because you have a wound. They even called the doctor's office to ask a question about the wound, and they didn't talk to the doctor or the nurse. They talked to one of the people at the front desk, and it's just amazing. So I don't know if I'll actually get that right leg because I've been. Sorry, I got to move my leg down. My knee is not feeling so good being up like this. Um, I don't know if I'll get that right leg now that I have been told that I'm not going to have Medicaid after the 30th of this month. So we're probably going to have to start over. There are some possible options. I gave a speech the other day at the University of St. Augustine School of Occupational Therapy, and there are some professors there who can help possibly with some prosthetic legs. I'm hopefully going to be working with the biomechanical engineering lab at Embry-Riddle in the next year or so. And hopefully maybe we can get some research into some prosthetic hands or some ways that we can get the fingers back. I have learned to work without fingers. I can do probably 75% of what I used to be able to do, and that's pretty cool. I have put together some of our amateur radio go boxes all by myself. I still can't get out into the garage and do any drilling on the drill press because I'm just not tall enough. But I probably could. I do find ways to adapt and overcome when I'm being told I can't do anything. So this is probably a really good thing that they're telling me I can't have insurance and that I won't be getting any more health care, because now I'll have to try harder to figure out what I'm going to do. So anyway, I've been chatting here for about 27 minutes, 28 minutes. And I think what I'm going to do is come up with an idea for a live stream, and I will let people know well ahead of time that I'm going to do one. I just wanted to do one this afternoon before it got dark here in sunny Florida, and let people know that I'm alive, and let people know that there is still life after having your limbs chopped off and then having your feet cut out from under you with your insurance being taken away. I am not giving up. I am still going to move forward. There will still be victories. There will still be triumphs, and there will still be mountains that need to be overcome. And with that, I think I will say I'm going to show my neighborhood again for just a minute. If anybody has anything they want to put in the chat so they can ask, I will wait for about a minute or so. That is looking down the street. It's beautiful. We got a big nice live oak here in the yard. It's nice living in Florida. When I was a kid, we lived in the Keys, which I really enjoyed. And I would love living there, but I can't afford that. My mom is in this chat, and she may have done the same thing we did, but we looked at Zillow and saw that the house we used to live in was last sold for $1.4 million. And it sure wasn't a $1.4 million house when we lived there. So anyway, guys, it has been a year of being out of the hospital, and I will let you know what's going on. Hey, Michael. Yes, he does have a reason to keep me around, and I hope you're doing well as well. Everybody go over to Michael Randenzo's YouTube channel called Ham Fun with KO4. Oh, I forgot your call sign, Michael, but put it in the chat and go over to his YouTube channel and give him a like and a subscribe. Beverly Griffin, yes, I have shared the story with the MCSSM alumni site, and I believe that is probably how Sprager got in here, is possibly through the alumni site. And one of my classmates, Mindo, yeah, thank you, Sprager. Mindo was one of my classmates, and he's very involved in the alumni affairs, KO4PDI. He's very active in the alumni site. So anyhow, you're welcome, Michael. Trying to see these chats because it just came fast. Okay. Scrager 4, thanks for your time. You are welcome. And you saw before you knew I was MCSSM. That is cool. And yes, the healthcare in the United States is abysmal. Marianne Thompson, if I remember right, are you not an amputee as well? I think I remember that you are. But anyhow, let's do this. I will come up with a live stream. I know if I do it from a computer, we can get more people in here. And I am wanting to bring on Lori Balous, who is the driving instructor that taught me how to drive. That is something that happened this last week. I now can drive. You can't see the hand controls in my truck, but maybe if I can get down here, I can show them to you. Let's see if I can get down there without dropping the phone. So here we go. Trying to go without dropping the phone. This is really cool. I thought I was going to be stuck, never driving again. And this week, last week, I got hand controls put in my truck so I can actually drive again. And I gotta get turned around. Give me a second. Bear with me as I turn around here. Here we go. So this is cool. If you ever lose your legs, the use of your legs, you can still drive. This right here is a throttle. I pull back like that, and it's a throttle. And then if I need to stop, which every now and then I do, I can push like that. And if you go down here, you can see. Now the brake is hard right now because the car's not running, but it's mechanically connected to the brake and electronically connected to the throttle. So that allows me to be able to drive. And you can see also there's ham radio equipment in here as well. So Marianne, you are in a double AKA as well. So yeah, Marianne, you know what it's like. Maybe, Marianne, do you have hand controls? Are you able to drive your car? That would be interesting to know to other people. Whoops. Our driveway is slanted, and I just almost went down into the street. Give me a second to get back into where I can sit safely and not fall down. There's the wheel of my truck you can see as I go by. I'm getting there. All right. Oh, something else that you might if you're facing life in a wheelchair and you're wondering how you're going to be able to get in your house, um, we thought we were going to have a ramp built to be able to get into the house, and we were going to have to go through all kinds of legal issues with City Hall to be able to get a ramp installed. But you can buy a metal ramp on Amazon for about $100, and then you don't have to pull a permit to be able to put a ramp into your house, which was really cool. That has made a big difference in things for us. I'm sorry, I see right here that somebody apparently has hit our car. So back to the task at hand, which is talking to people about being an amputee. So you hope to drive someday. Marianne, I don't know where you're located, or you said North Dakota. Lori is a certified driving rehabilitation specialist, and I will be doing a live stream with her in the near future, talking to her about what it takes to get certified to drive. In Florida, you have to have a restriction on your driver's license to make it legal to use hand controls. Technically, it's not illegal, but if you get into a wreck, they're going to get upset with you. So you have to get a restriction on your license. Some states require an endorsement or a restriction on your license. I don't know what the rules of all the states are, but when I do the live stream with Lori, she will be able to tell all the details about what it takes to get able to drive again. So S. Krager or Skrager 4, yes, thank you. It would be nice to know how you found out about me before you knew that I was associated with the School of Science and Math. I'm going to go back here and see what's going on here. I think that's about it, and I have got to get inside and get ready to do some stuff with the family. So for now, thank you for watching the live stream, and thank you for being involved and being part of this. I really appreciate it, and I'll let you guys know more than a second or two ahead of doing a live stream that there will be one. So for now, I will say thank you and see you next time. Please like this video, share it, annoy all your friends, get them to sign up. We're almost at 1,000. I need 12 more subscribers to get to 1,000. Once we're there, all kinds of things open up. So we will talk to you guys next time. Hey, Michael, I appreciate that. I bought the cameras that you have. Michael does a beautiful live stream. He really does. And he's also an excellent photographer. To be perfectly honest, I've not figured out lighting for live streams with web cameras. They don't seem to like the lighting that I did for television. It never looks right. So yes, Michael, I would actually appreciate that. And we can talk offline. So anyway, again, everybody go over to Michael Randanzo's live stream, Ham Fun with KO4PDI. He is a ham radio friend here in Florida. He lives right down the road from us. He does a lot of cool stuff with ham radio. I think you might have even gotten involved in ham radio through watching our ham radio YouTube channel, which is called hamradio.world. Unfortunately, we are not as active doing that channel because it was always me and the girls going out somewhere and being active doing ham radio. And this year has been so full of going to doctor appointments, and the girls are all in college now, that we don't have time to do all that. So actually, let me talk a little bit, since it's still nice outside, um, about who we are and what we do. So we have the YouTube channel called hamradio.world. My wife Michelle and all four of our children, Zechariah, Faith Anna, Hope, and Grace, are licensed ham radio operators. The kids and I all have our amateur extra class license, which is the highest class license you can get. Michelle is a general class licensee, which means all of us are allowed to talk on shortwave, on the long distance type radios that you can talk around the world, which are really cool. We like to take the ham radios out into the field and talk on ham radio, and kind of learn how to be self-sufficient and get information and talk to people when everything goes down, which has happened a few times. I've been a storm chaser and been getting in front of hurricanes since Hurricane Andrew in 1992. That was the first one I got in front of professionally, and it's been over 200 of them since then. Um, so yeah, I wrote out Hurricane Michael on live stream with people. That was kind of fun. Having people ride along in the truck on live stream, and so I've done a lot of storm chasing. I've jumped out of helicopters with my TV camera as a government contractor. I did a lot of work with the Coast Guard years ago and the Department of Transportation when they were under the Department of Transportation. Did some work with the DOD and some other three-letter entities, and spent a lot of time overseas and a lot of time in war zones and disaster areas. So I became interested in helping out in disasters after this. I guess the first big time was after the earthquake in Haiti in 2010, and I went to Haiti and was originally embedded on the USNS Comfort, the hospital ship, and then ended up flying home on a jet that belonged to a very famous radio personality. And I was asking some questions of the pilots as to why is this very famous radio personality from Missouri having his airplane in Haiti flying cargo and people. And they mentioned about this organization called CARE, which stood for Corporate Aviation Responding to Emergencies. And I wanted to find out more about it, and went back to Haiti with them on a few flights, and did some stories about them, and then started helping out, putting the camera down and helping out. And that turned into, eventually CARE became Aero Bridge, AERO Bridge, and helped out with several disasters. Got to the point where I became a strike team leader, where I would go in and help coordinate the airlift downrange where the stuff was coming, or even uprange, I guess, at the forward staging areas where we would stage materials and people to be flown on aircraft that were donated by their owners, and the pilots would fly for free. It's actually a really cool organization. So I was with them in Hurricane Dorian, or after Hurricane Dorian, in Marsh Harbor in the Bahamas. And that's where I was bitten by a mosquito. The mosquito gave me West Nile encephalitis. That nearly killed me. I had a lot of issues with the West Nile, but I recovered from it. But then in June of 21, all of a sudden one day I woke up unable to breathe, and it turned out that my mitral valve had failed, and it's kind of believed that the mitral valve failure may be associated with the West Nile virus. I didn't have any other comorbidities uh, with my heart or anything. There was nothing else wrong with me. So I ended up being uh, needing heart surgery, and that's where the heart surgery happened. That led to losing my hands and all my fingers and my feet. So anyway, I am rambling, guys. It's 45 minutes into a rambling live stream. Thank you for liking this video and sharing it. And please come back when you see the notice that I'm going to do a live stream. Please do join back in, and I promise you it will be a little more better prepared than this one. So with that, thank you very much. I will see you